And we're live. Welcome to the TBS Lounge.
We got sound.
We got sound. We got fucking faces. Welcome, everybody. Oh, yeah.
The FAA. Who's with me?
Who's with me? Well, I don't know, man. All right, so let's dive right into it. We want to make a quick one. So I just read all the 900 pages in 45 seconds, and I feel like I'm an expert on the topic, and I will educate every one of you. The FAA regulations were posted. I don't know when, but like when I woke up, my entire Facebook was blown up. So I took it upon myself to research a little bit. And it looks like they proposed a new rule which will be in effect in 30 months.
30 months.
Yeah. 18 months for us. And then after 18 months, 18
months from manufacturers.
Yeah. 18 months from now, I think. I'm pretty sure. We have to comply. Any RTF that gets sold, like for example the Oblivion, will have to be upgraded to comply with the remote ID regulations. And before you guys all freak out about like the technical specs of all of it, like that's all completely up in the air. But we're going to talk about that in a second. So there's really no point to ask like, will TBS be compliant, or like, is my Crossfire going to be compliant? None of that has been defined yet. But what I fucking love about the new FAA NPRM thing is they specifically banned ADS-B. So they said, don't fucking use ADS-B unless we authorize you to do so.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because ADS-B was going to be, you got to pay to play, right? So, like, I think the cheapest ADS-B responder or transponder that there was out there was like $300 or $250.
Ooh.
Oh.
Windows update. No, not now.
Remind me tomorrow. Yeah.
You mouse over that.
It's like, oh, which one? So, XJet, what's up?
What's up?
Bruce, man,
Of course.
all the way to fucking New Zealand. What the fuck are you doing up at this early hour?
What isn't he in the future?
He is in the future, yeah. But still, I mean, well, okay, it's lunchtime for him. Anyway, it's early for me. So yeah, ADS-B, and they specifically stated they don't want people to use ADS-B because it could cause interference with actual aircraft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like they've acknowledged for the first time in history that UAVs are not as important as manned aircraft. Which
What?
Yeah.
That took him that long?
Well,
Shit.
right? It's 2020. Gotta wake up to reality at some point.
Woke FAA.
So yeah, that's pretty much what we gathered from it. So no ADS-B. The second thing is the transponder, like the technical specs are pretty vague. They said it has to comply with Part 15 Code of Regulations 47. If you look that up on Wikipedia, that's pretty much any fucking frequency that is available to us commoners without a ham license. So Crossfire would technically fall into that spec, as does Tracer, as does any other remote control. So like as it stands right now, any remote control system could be made compliant. However, the technical specs, like in terms of range, it has to like transpond a couple hundred feet, so like pretty, not long range transmission, which is pretty good. It does include both the GPS coordinates, or it does have to include both the GPS coordinates of the pilot and of the drone itself. But they have been a little bit vague, or I guess they specified it, but I didn't read it. They have about whether it's a takeoff location or the pilot's location. So as far as I read in my 45 seconds research, it could be either of the two. So you can either broadcast the current location of the pilot or the location of where you took off from.
So you want to get caught yourself, or you want to get caught flying too far? Or both.
Punching loopholes is normally my fucking task. It's takeoff for the add-on RID module and the ground station for the inbuilt RID. Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe that's why it was vague, because it was specified later on, which I didn't read. So that's the requirement. You have to include a timestamp. It's pretty basic stuff, and like the GPS coordinates of your drone. I don't know if you already mentioned that. So yeah.
What about speed?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, interesting.
Not sure. But
Okay.
like a GPS module is going to be enough.
Okay.
That's for sure.
All right.
Under 250 grams is exempt, so you don't have to have any RID if you are below 250 grams. You also don't need any remote ID if you fly at an AMA airfield. So like that's a nod to all the old timers out there flying on AMA spots, which is also really good for like drone races itself. Because like we're not gonna put GPS on our racing drones, right?
No.
So if you're an multi-GP club or chapter or whatever, you can apply to have like your racing field exempt, and then no remote ID requirements. Multi-GPIO, you're fucking set. Yeah, there's also a labeling requirement. So the remote transponder ID has to be visible on the drone itself somehow.
Oh, so you have to print it out and stick it on.
Yep, something like that. And there is also like something about home-built UAVs in there. So I'm guessing like if you're looking for a loophole, then trying to classify your drone as a home-built UAV is going to be the way to go. Because then you don't have to have any kind of remote ID. Only CBOs and educational facilities can apply for FRIAs, not individual clubs. Yes, XJet, you're right, but multi-GP is very close with AMA. So, it's up to the multi-GP chapters to use the AMA as a way or as a means to apply for that kind of field. Plenty of time for TBS to develop an add-on RID module with GPS built in and serial GPS output plus built-in tracer RX, so it's at least useful for something. Yeah, well, maybe it doesn't even have to be like a specific module. Maybe it's enough that you just use the GPS from your drone, and then basically connect that to the Tracer RX or to the Crossfire RX and broadcast that way. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen because the technical specs are not yet there. Like, for example, DJI has like demoed something with WiMAX or whatever it's called, like a Wi-Fi broadcasting standard. Or let's say it's Bluetooth, then there's going to be like a completely separate device. The problem with that is going to be like if it's on 2.4, it's going to interfere with your
2.4
with your 2.4 system. So. So AMA fails and now you still need to pay them to fly. Okay, maybe quickly my thoughts on the whole thing. Like I'm not pro regulation. I'm not pro having to put anything onto your drone. Just to be like clear up front with that from the start. So in that sense, any kind of new regulation sucks. Just got to put that out there. So like my personal opinion on remote ID sucks. Just purely based on like why would we need it? However, it could have been way worse. Okay, you got to be very clear on that. In my opinion, the FAA regulation is way more relaxed than the EU regulations. You only have to register once. Like you don't have to register all your drones. You pay $5. I don't know if there's going to be a yearly fee or whatever. For manufacturers, it looks pretty relaxed. Like we've already applied for a manufacturer's license or serial number or whatever code thing. So we're gonna update you on that. I hope our call sign is gonna be TBS 420. That's what I applied for. We'll see if it goes through. So yeah.
They're gonna say no, and then you're gonna try 69.
Yeah.
Fine, 69 it is.
Home build have to have RID in the form of add-on our RID module. I'm not sure on that, XJet, but I will research another 45 seconds after this, and I will let you know. Would it be possible to add GPS location into FLARM beacons from the diversity receiver? First of all, FLARM already complies completely with that standard, with the remote ID standard. Like it doesn't include the pilot's location, but there are subframes that will allow you to like broadcast special whatever. The only issue is there's a little word in there that says non-proprietary, and basically FLARM is a proprietary protocol. So if FLARM decides to become non-proprietary, then it would qualify with remote ID. The FAA has made it very clear there are no exemptions from RID. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with XJet on this one. So I guess home build UAVs will have to have the module on it unless you're sub 250G.
Can you explain what's 107?
Part 107 is like the professional license. So if you fly for compensation, then yeah.
Okay.
When will you release Tango 2 Tracer Edition? I just addressed this in the lounge. The Tango 2, if you want to fly Tango 2 with Tracer, you're going to have to get the Tracer TX Lite. Or Nano TX,
Nano
sorry.
TX. And the module add-on.
Sub 250G isn't exempt. It is exempt unless you're flying under Part 107, so that means for compensation. I'll just stock up on my already stocked parts and call it a day. You don't have to stock up at all. Like you can still build your own drones, and then like the choice not to comply is basically yours.
Wink, wink.
Racing would need Part 107 as well. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Looks like in the EU are screwed. In best case, you have to have a spotter. So we did make a video about the EU regulations a while back, so you can go to our YouTube channel. There's an archive there for all of you that care. Can't post any flying videos without a 107. Yeah, you can. Of course you can. When is TBS Crossfire support set up telemetry ratio? Telemetry is way too important. Yeah. Is there hardware they have sanctioned to comply? No. We're way too early on this. Like you guys are getting way ahead of yourselves.
Racing needs it if there's a prize.
No. Remote ID going to affect TBS and other companies? I don't think so. Of course, we'll have to comply, but yeah. I'm Part 107. Can I fly not under Part 107? Yeah, sure. Can monetize with videos without 107? I don't think so. I think you can still monetize your videos as long as you don't fly for compensation. Or valuable consideration. So if you just post a video of you flying and you happen to make some money on it, if the flying is not the integral part, then yeah. If racers receive prize money, they will need a Part 107 compensation. No. You fly to compete, the prize money is like a side effect. So it's a legal gray area. I'll give you guys that. But I mean, what like only the top 3 need the 107? Like what? No. 60 days goes into effect. Different time spans to comply. No, man. No. 60 days plus 18 months.
That's way too. 60 days is no way.
Yeah, no way. No, they don't even have the technical specs for it yet.
Plus, they have to train people, like the EU.
Oh man, some people are really stuck up on the compensation in Part 107. No, just go out and fly and post your videos. Don't like get hung up and like self implicate.
Like, I'm always interested in knowing how they're gonna, like, reinforce the rules and all
Well,
that.
the enforcement is going to be a completely different aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like, are they gonna train people to do this? Are they going to, like, what are the cops gonna do about this? They're not gonna learn anything about this.
Yeah. X-Jet, yeah. In theory, all right? In theory. However, in practice, no. Like, first of all, how the fuck is anybody gonna... No. Just don't go there. Just... YouTube is not monetized, whatever. Just, like... I mean, come on. We're all rebels here.
I'm just gonna go keep. I'm just gonna.
If
going to keep
YouTube makes
flying,
money
yeah.
on your videos, you need Part 107. No. Fucking hell no. Jesus Christ. Just stop it. Stop it. I'm going to ban everybody that says this from now on.
Cherry punk product.
Are city cops going to check for 107 if we're at the flying part? Probably not. No. Well, plus, like, 107 is not part of the remote ID thing. The way I understand it is that all flights fall under 107 unless the flight specifically falls under recreational. So by default, it's 107 unless you meet recreational rules. Yeah, there you go. So if you fly for recreation, you can fucking make videos for recreation. You can post them on YouTube for recreation. Part 107 is for commercial contract work. There you go. So if it's very simple. 107 is for if it's your job. If you're Joshua Bardwell or Mr. Steele posting videos online, making a living out of it, you're Part 107. If you're fucking Wayne Ho flying down the fucking field and YouTube decides to place an ad on it, no, it's not. It's a recreational flight. Well, I guess Wayne Ho makes his money from TBS, so yeah. All right. To qualify as recreational, you must be flying under the guidelines of a CBO. How many of us do that? You need to be flying recreationally. That's it. Done. Just don't over complicate things. There we go. A dick drone droid has the fucking... As long as you consider yourself part of a brand, you're not flying recreationally. And if you don't, then you don't. There you go. The remote ID regulation separates 107 and recreational more or not less. Yeah. Sean Wendlam with the fucking truth. Taxes. Are you filing taxes as a YouTuber? No, then it's not a job. Well, okay. Let's not get the IRS involved.
Oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ, you guys are blowing this way out of proportion. Most of us are flying on a Part 420. I'm gonna ban myself from here if we have to go over that 107 flying stuff one more time. Yeah, yeah, we're done with this. Could TBS make a sub 250 gram plane to carry a naked GoPro? Yeah, why not? They basically focused on flying over people, traffic, and night. Yeah, there's some provision about night flying in there. I didn't even read it, but whatever. The FAA has stated this in several videos. What? Also, they said all drones must have prop protection. Are you serious? I don't think so. I didn't see any of that. It doesn't matter what we believe. It's what the FAA believes that matters in a court of law. Yeah, but as long as you believe what they believe, then you both believe the same thing and you're fucking liable, right? If you don't believe what they believe, then it's arguable in court. So, according to their definitions, recreational is recreational and recreational is recreational. So as long as you think that what you're doing is recreational, you can argue that in court. So don't make your life harder than it needs to be. Trappy, are we gonna see the source one files on GitHub? Oh, dude, I thought that was done ages ago. What the fuck?
Still not up?
Oh man.
I'll talk to Lam after this.
Yeah. On the TBS site, there's a full wiring diagram for the updated Nano Pro 32 breakout board. There is, yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Tell the Philly drone guy. Well, the Philly drone guy was an idiot. Okay?
Wait, what was that?
I don't know, some guy that got fined like 1.8 million. I mean, if you're gonna get fined, but he did not do it recreationally. He was being fucking idiot, and yeah, just. The FAA believes anything that flies with a remote control is a drone, so good luck getting fixed-wing pilots to put a prop guard on it. Yeah. Trappy, thanks for the Coinbase link. Oh, no worries, Justin. For all of you that didn't follow, Coinbase is a way to accept Bitcoin payments as a company. So as long as you're flying recreational, we don't need to worry. Well, as long as you're flying recreationally, you still need to have a remote ID or fly at an AMA field. He got fined $1,500 times like 150 times for like 183K. Oh, it wasn't 1.8 million, it was 100. Okay, whatever.
Still.
TBS needs to build a 20 amp AIO with built-in TBS VTX and receiver for all those that want to stay under 250.
About that.
About that. It's in production, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
is my 7-inch below 250 grams? No, right? Probably not.
Does the battery count?
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah. Then.
It's everything attached to the drone.
Okay.
PayPal takes crypto now too, right? I'm not sure. There was some announcement about it, but I'm not sure. Tango 2V4 PCB remote ID. No, okay. It's not part of your remote control. It has to be on the drone. I was pretty disappointed about that because like they completely removed the internet thing, which would have been awesome with the TBS Cloud. But whatever, you know. 20 amp. Why not 3540? Dude, it's 420 amps.
Because when it's 20, it's actually 20.
Yeah,
but when someone says 55 or 68,
it's still 20.
It's fucking 20. You wanted us to be honest, or you want us to, you know?
No, we're not going to be honest. It's going to be 420 amps, BL Heli 69. So I fly recreational sub 250G. I don't need remote ID. No, exactly. Unless you fly for compensation. How screwed are we? Marginally screwed. Could have been way worse. TBS Fusion module does not fit the module bay on the SkyZone 04X. Well, yeah, I heard. Can't really do much about it. Fuck remote ID. When can we see Mambo? Wayne, are you slimmer?
I didn't lose weight.
No. Okay. Sub 250G recreational flights don't need remote ID. Yes. All right. Cool. So yeah, I guess we pretty much summed up everything. Let's do a quick recap. No remote ID for sub 250G unless, or if you fly at an AMA field. You will need remote ID, I guess, for home-built UAVs, but you can add a module onto it. As a systems vendor such as TBS, any ready-to-fly like complete kit that we sell that is not assembled at least 50% by the user needs to come equipped with remote ID. It will be in effect in a year and a half. starting January 2021. So January 2021 plus a year and a half for manufacturers, and then an additional year for you guys. You can retrofit, as I already said, with like a module thing. And yeah. That's pretty much it. There's still a lot we don't know. How big is a remote ID unit? How much does it cost? How much did it weigh? Well, of course, because they haven't been made yet. But that there won't need to be a monthly fee because it doesn't really have to connect anywhere, right? So there's also no technical requirements apart from being Part 15 CFR 47 compliant, which could mean anything between like 433 megahertz to 5.8. The protocol must be non-proprietary, so it's got to be like an open source or like an open standard that you don't have to pay to be part of. I guess that's what non-proprietary means. Doesn't matter if it's the States, anything the States does, the rest of the world tends to follow. Actually, it's not the case. Europe is going a completely different route, and they've already plotted the path, so there's like no turning back or like retroactively integrating the remote ID things. Does the RID unit count? Yes, it does count as the part of the weight. But it doesn't matter because if you fly sub 250G, you don't need it. Right? So. Remote ID is OSD data with GPS data. You can have registration ID over 5 gigahertz should qualify. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
UK is copying Europe.
Yeah. Well, they're part of Europe, right? If you fly over 250G recreational, you need a remote ID compliant drone or yes, correct. Canada is doing its own thing until Big Brother down south forces us to do otherwise. Yeah. Do you think they will be using any of the actual transponder tech? No, they specifically outlawed ADSB. Like, you need to get a special permit to use ADSB, and they do not want you to use ADSB from what I gathered from that specification. So yeah, any existing ADSB tech that you've bought, you wasted a bunch of money on it. Hey brother, does the PL18 work with PPM only? You gotta talk to FlySky. If they can implement the CRSF protocol, then you're good. Yeah. Otherwise, it's gonna be PPM only.
PL18, like the Paladin one.
Yeah. Karens can harass you while you fly. Well, they can do that perfectly without remote ID, right? All right, cool. So, I mean, this has been pretty interesting morning. I hope you've been educated on the whole remote ID thing. I'm sorry, like we're gonna need to. I'm gonna ask Jan to make a remote ID presentation so we look a little bit more professional without the cuss words and with the
proper
slide sheets and the actual information rather than just reading the actual information from our chat. Thank you very much, XJet. Check out RC Model Reviews. He's been super helpful in the comments, educating us on the specifics. And I guess that's pretty much it. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
We might have another stream later.
We will have another stream later today
will.
on some awesome shit that Wayne is putting up on the site right now. Trappy, do you think we should comply? Yeah, yes.
You fucked that up.
I'm fucking dyslexic, so I'm sending mixed signals. That's all. Later, guys.
Later.